Oh, that didn't work. Hello, mech fans, and welcome. Welcome, one and all, to the next episode of the Gun Roundtable. I'm your host, Ironcaster, and we were off last week, but that was for my own personal reasons. But on the plus side of it, I now have a new vehicle, so yay! But I didn't want to drop off a second week, and so I figured, let's get back into this. Let's go cover some more Gundam. So real quick, just Nerdporial. Yeah, Matilda, she gets some shit. And hello, Julie. Hey. But don't just say hey to me. Hey, Chris.
Hello, everyone. Greetings and salutations.
How's it going?
So you had to take a week off so you get that beard implant.
Yeah, some of the follicles are starting to fall out, and I had to go reapply the glue, and that stuff just has to go and apply.
Yes.
Sit. I sit under my little blue lamp and.
And you said something about off stream about it being your back hair that was being used.
Yes. Well, fortunately, it just grows in like crazy. I mean, this is just a wraps around.
Well, I guess you don't have to worry about your heating bills being so high. You got natural insulation.
Oh yeah. Yes, apparently we're now building new cannon for me. Thank you, Chris.
Hi, Julie.
No, there's no. I've got like no back here actually, so we're not starting some nonsense like that.
He's lying.
No, it's all. This is all just like steel cable. In my slow conversion to becoming a giant and becoming a robot myself.
Yes, and you still have not explained your Jason Momoa display in your closet. Oh, I'm sorry. I have to give you crud.
Yes, well, I had to come up with an excuse to use one of those new clips I just put together.
I'm happy to be of service.
So how's it been going for you, Chris? You've been, aside from mocking me and my beard.
I'm not too bad. Work has been busy and everything. Today I had to train someone so that they can work for me when I'm on my day off. And besides helping you out here or helping Jace out on his channel, besides this last week because you guys both did nothing, so I had the week off. Wasn't too bad.
Yeah, you. But speaking of, sadly he's not here at the moment, and hopefully he'll be here shortly. But I did get something in the mail the other day, and I thought I'd get a chance to show it off on stream. So far, the first of the items came in, and we got ourselves a little 540 Studio sticker.
Yay! Buy more merch.
Yeah, we just need Fat Steven, buy my merch. Buy my merch.
Oh, yeah. But...
oh, yeah, it's been a pretty good few days for me. I got to go see some family, had a nice big old meal with them.
Yeah,
here we are.
What was it? What you guys eat out or something like that?
Oh, we went and did a big old family style meal where it's all you can eat for this year was $30 a person.
Okay.
But it's kind of one of those get the family together and nobody has to cook.
Oh, that's always handy. Don't have to worry about doing cooking. Don't have to worry about doing dishes. You just let someone else do it.
Exactly. And yeah, thank you, Julie. If you could get me a link for that, we could put that down for anyone who might want one.
Let me see if I can find.
I'll make you do work.
Hey, someone's got to do the grunt work here.
Mm-hmm. I was actually working on trying to get a little bit of merchandise for myself put together. I was like, I started getting something together, and then like the little logo didn't quite work out for me, so it was like a 20-30 minute window of time that just got wasted.
The logo didn't work.
Oh yeah, when I was talking about like doing the T-shirt design.
Okay. So here we go. I don't know why, but Jace has it always set up to go straight to one of the shirts, to the sweatshirt. So it's just like,
oh, Julie, I would love to talk with you, on social media if you can. In fact, my Twitter tag is at IroncasterH because Ironcasters A through G were apparently all taken.
okay. Well, I mean, you're just the latest model.
I am the Mark H.
Yes.
The H stands for hair.
Hey, there goes that hairy back situation again. Because the H is on the back end of your tag.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, we'll have to
get in touch.
Yeah. Shoot. In that case, shoot me a DM and we can talk after after the stream. So I don't want to go and fill up too much time and with a little bit of shop talk and ready to move on then. So shall we get to things then?
Yes, we shall. So
let's get things started. Gundam fight all set. Ready? Go!
I love that.
Yes, it is a memorable line. If anyone wants to know, check out Mobile Suit Gundam or check out
Mobile
Fighter G Gundam. Yes.
Oh, I think that would be a lot of fun actually.
We will have to do that sometime, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me try playing some. Okay. Oh. Okay. No. We'll go with that. We'll go with that.
The limitations of StreamYard.
Now then, we are of course on episode 24 of Mobile Suit Gundam. So
the OG Mobile Suit Gundam.
Yep. Of course, we are on episode 24, entitled "The Black Tristars." So we'll be going through the episode and talking briefly about it while we do cover things. And I have a cat now.
And commentary. Dun 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 dun.
Ouch. Well, you wouldn't come up here, and this is what happens now. Now you're stuck on my shirt. Come on, kitty. Let's put you down.
For those of you who don't know, when originally Ironcaster was going to get on, he had a shirt that had the Pokemon letters all in a lovely color that would have made it look like he was shot by someone.
Yeah, I'll share a picture. I'll share a picture of her later if she decides to cooperate. But cats are gonna cat.
You feed them, you clean them, you take after them, you pick up their poop. They think they're God.
I'll see if I can get more cat for later. Kycilia Zabi. The episode begins with Kycilia Zabi reprimanding her commanders and orders them to transfer some close combat mobile suits to Char, who we haven't seen in some time.
No, I wonder where he's been.
Is to be stationed with the Mad Angler Squadron down on Earth. She then asks if the Black Tristars have received their DOMs and is told they have. As Kycilia and her forces are occupying the moon, they cannot join Makuve themselves, and so they have sent the Black Tristars as reinforcements. They descend from the satellite orbit to Earth on a Zanzibar, which we get a nice little, some nice, a little bit of that Space porn.
1970s tech, 1970s interpretation of future technology. The nice little space station.
And this was 10 years or about 10 years after the moon landing.
Yeah,
2 years after Star Wars.
Yeah, well, 2 years after Star. Yeah, 2 years after Stars. I thought you said 2 years before. My bad.
Yeah, so this is kind of that. I'd say this is certainly for when this show has been on. It's the peak of kind of that space craze.
Yeah, the craze that Star Wars actually kind of invigorated, because before people that dove into sci-fi, it was mostly kind of depicted as like a future post-apocalyptic look to it most of the time.
I mean, well, at the same time, though, you also had Star Trek having now by this point was on and had ended. So you've kind of gotten the full gambit of that space aesthetic.
Yeah, and this just adds more just with a Japanese twist.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and this was also the same time as original Battlestar Galactica.
That is very true. 1979.
So Julie, to answer that question, a lot of there's a few movies on Netflix, and in fact, you can even check the Gundam YouTube channel where they'll oftentimes put up full episodes of the series. I mean, unfortunately, they are in Japanese, but if you don't mind subtitles, that's certainly an option. Otherwise, you can go to.
It is preferred to, if you're going to watch the movies, it's preferred to watch them with the English subs, because I've heard that the English dubs, which have basically kind of almost been erased, are bad. So if you want to watch the movies, either Netflix or the Gundam Info YouTube channel will have them. Actually, I'm kind of looking up. So here is.
You were looking at a link up.
I got the link to the YouTube channel.
Okay, yeah, I think you should be good to post links. If not, you can.
I don't know if am I.
We'll check to be safe real quick. So if you wouldn't mind typing something in the chat there.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie though. I will say that though about this episode though, when Chris and I were kind of watching through it last night, I had a lot of fun with the English voices they had for this show.
Yes. So just to let you know, Julie, there's two different versions of this story. There is the original TV series that aired in 1979, and then there's the movie trilogy, which was a re-edit and some scenes added for, which is the canonical story.
Right, that new version kind of supersedes the original one here, but I'm still a fan of the original series here, because for one thing, you have just so much more time to be able to build things out. Actually, if you wouldn't mind typing something in the chat real quick, Chris, we can double check.
I did. So it didn't go through.
You were in the so you weren't okay. Just try saying hello in the chat there, and I'll mod you.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, we'll fix that real quick. But okay, now you should be good to post links. So you can go ahead and post the
there we go.
Yep. That is the official Gundam YouTube channel where you can go and watch movies and
clips
in some of the various series. One of the things with Gundam is, which we kind of bring up every now and then, is this idea that, unlike Star Wars, unlike Star Trek, there are effectively multiple timelines, multiple kind of series, if you will. Thank you.
They're
multiple continuities.
They're referred to as different calendar universes, kind of sort of. So, I mean, the main timeline, the main calendar, is referred to as the Universal Century. Then there is a couple others like Cosmic Era, After Colony, After War, and a few more.
Ultimately, the only connecting element between all these different timelines is that they have big robots, and sometimes not so big robots, called Gundams.
And there's normally a conflict between people who live on Earth and people that live in space.
Right. It's by and large a bit of a war story with just big robots.
Yes.
Unless, of course, we're in the one where they build the Gundams as model kits and fight with those.
That is Gundam Bill Fighter.
And that one's just fine. That one's just fun.
Yeah, that's kind of like a Yu-Gi-Oh / Beyblade /
Oh yeah, you were kind of right about that. Oh,
Metabots.
yeah, huh. Anyway,
It's like back to Earthcaster.
hello, good sir, Goliath champ. I know that guy. He's a good guy. All right, so shall we get back to it then?
Yes, we shall.
Okay then.
Got a little sidetracked.
Yeah, well, no, it was fine. It was kind of a fun little kind of getting back to that same question of what do you do with Gundam?
Yeah.
Back on the White Base, Amuro is organizing supplies for the Gundam when Lieutenant Matilda stops by to greet him. We also find out that Amuro is apparently forklift certified. What the hell?
And he's only 15.
Yeah.
His birthday isn't for like another week or so.
Amuro offers to escort her to the bridge, and they pass through different sections of the ship on the way to greet the captain, and happen to pass by Kai, who's extolling Matilda's virtues on another crew member, unaware that she is there behind them. Embarrassed, Kai asks to take a photo with her, and many of the other young male crew members join them. Amuro gleefully looks at his copy of the photo after bringing Matilda to Bright. There we go. So along the way, we also had Frau Bo being the jealous childhood friend.
Yeah.
Which it's kind of makes me like her more, I think.
Well, I mean, we've established previously that she herself is interested in Amuro, but Amuro, being a 15-year-old boy at the time, is completely oblivious to her. He only has eyes for one person, and that's the person that he's sharing an elevator with at the moment.
Mm-hmm. And of course, there's a lot of fun with this early bit of the episode where you have a lot of the very human moments. They're all getting very kind of out there with their antics.
Yeah, and they're also, for the first time in a long time, they are having time to sit back, relax, and recuperate after who knows how long of them on the constant run since leaving Side 7.
Yep. And of course, yeah, just anytime you kind of have fun at Kai's expense, it's always worth it.
That's actually a pretty fun picture of him. Completely embarrassed completely embarrassed himself in front of Miss Matilda.
Just gonna go through a few of these. Unfortunately, I didn't get the group photo beyond this. Kai had gone and set the timer, but he wasn't able to quite make the photo.
Whoops.
Mm-hmm. But still, it's kind of one of those. Oh, it's on the wiki, but I'm not gonna.
Give me a second, I can find a decent picture.
Don't worry about it. Oh, my mouse is acting up now. Oh. Okay, yeah, apparently it's my mouse pad. I'm not sure. right, so that's unfortunate. Of course, I hate to do this, but I gotta apparently change batteries in the middle of the stream now.
Oh, nice. This is a perfect moment for you to throw up your "We'll be back in a moment."
I feel so professional right now. Maybe I can just trick it by putting him back in for now.
Ooh, I found another picture of Miss Matilda, a fantasy one. You know, the one that Amuro kind of fantasizes when he realizes stuff about her.
Yep. All right, let me go step away for 1 second, and if you don't mind, kind of talking a little bit about this while I try to deal with this now. Suddenly,
Talk about which what exactly?
I don't know, Kai.
I mean that he's a
Give me
bumbling.
one moment.
He's a bumbling fool at times. He's kind of a coward, and at times he's selfish. But he starts out that way, especially when he leaves Side 7. He after the enemy mobile suits, the Xeon, they attack Side 7. He, instead of trying to help anyone, he immediately runs for the space docks to get onto the white base to escape the colony without help. And people come up and says, "Hey, did you see anyone out there?" And he basically says, "No, I don't. Why should I put my neck out to try and help them?" And kind of gets a nice slap for it by one of the other crew members. But he at the end of it all, he from there he kind of slowly matures, grows up. He becomes a mobile suit pilot, the pilot of the gun cannon, which is one of the 3 mobile suits on the white base, because he's basically got tired of kind of getting sidelined for rations, because mobile suit pilots get more rations than the other crew members, because they're kind of the primary because mobile suits are the primary defense and attack for the ship. And he's kind of slowly matured a little bit since then. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. Oh, it's still acting up. So it's not just that; it's something else. I'll figure that out later.
Oh, so what is it that you're having issues with?
Oh, my mouse is just acting funny on me. A little stuttery.
Okay.
All right. Just gotta catch up. Yeah, Amuro's being a little giddy boy over his photo.
I mean, he literally says "woohoo" after he gets that picture of her.
Yep. In fact.
All right.
Oh, and I remember that that "woohoo" is actually in the Japanese translation.
All right. Let's see. Catching up a little bit. Elsewhere, General Revel is in a meeting with his men and receives word that the Black Tristars have reached Makuve. Well aware that this could mean trouble, as the Tristars are the ones that had captured him during the Battle of Loom. Their arrival causes General Revel to declare that Operation Odessa must be expedited. Elran hedged the bet, but ultimately forced to comply. He steps outside the briefing room and tells Judak to alert Makuve that the Operation Odessa is to begin soon.
Real quick. I found a decent image of the picture.
All right, let me.
But it's kind of a mirrored image. So.
Okay, yeah, that is and there's Kai on the side.
him running in there, trying to get into the shot. And look at that armor right there, just kind of leaning in.
Let me.
So actually,
Isn't that cute?
This is actually a really good picture. I think this is one of those ones where they kind of came when they were making
probably in like in some of the the updated animated footage for some of the games, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Some of the updated images for the games, some of the updated animation and cinematics of the game. So they would come back and kind of clean up some of the animation, some of the depictions. So this is actually a really nice picture.
Yeah, they would take and take and kind of update a lot of those to just really highlight some of the key moments. Which
hey, look, there's one of the bridge crew.
If anyone who's around, get in here. Apparently, we're just doing a group photo.
Nice.
All right. Oh, this is torture. I'm not gonna be able to link too much stuff here, so you'll have to forgive me.
Anything I can help you with?
Oh no, it's just primarily I'm having mouse issues. That literally weren't happening like 10 minutes ago. Yeah, so kind of one of the big things to get out of this is the fact that there are spies within the ranks of the high command of the Federation.
Both in the Federation and also in Xeon. Because that General Revel, who is one of the leaders within the Federation, got a message saying, hey, the people that captured you, they're now on Earth and they're going after they're here to cause some troubles. And so that means that there was a spy on the Xeon side who leaked that information to the Federation. And right here you have
the same thing in reverse.
Yes. And this time he's saying, hey, there's another spy in Xeon, so you might want to let your higher ups know.
Yep. Oh, all those games.
And
I know you. I know you know, and I know you know that I know you know.
Do you know that I know that you know that I know?
But I knew that you knew that you would know that I would know that you know that I know.
I know. But just to kind of make this clear is that Judak, which is the guy on the right side, he's a Xeon who is imitating a Federation soldier. The general who is to the left, he's a Federation officer who is betraying the Federation.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of one of those good. I think it's a pretty good bit to kind of bang home that about the importance of information warfare.
Mm-hmm. Those that don't have intelligence loses, and actually, intelligence was so key that was one of the things that won World War II was intelligence, having more intelligence than the other people. The intelligence of when and where D-Day was going to happen is what completely turned the tide of the Western Front.
And also, you'll forgive me, wasn't it also the turning machine that helped crack the Nazi code?
I think it's the Enigma machine or something like that. But yeah, the British got a hold of a machine that basically punched out the Nazi code. And part of the agreement for getting help from the United States is that the British would take that machine and send it to the United States so that they could break the codes.
Okay, yep. Goliath. Yep, thank you for correcting me in the chat there. The Enigma.
Okay, so yeah, the Enigma machine. And actually that's also because the United States used Navajo what were they now? God.
I'll leave that for later.
Navajo code talkers. The American codes could never be broken because of the Navajo code talkers. because they would talk.
To this day, those codes are still locked up.
Yeah. So that helped keep American secrets well secured.
Yep. And I mean, furthermore, I mean, here we are now, finally getting that kind of moving forward of the timeline, the time frame that, you know, hey, we're actually going to have Operation Odessa.
Yeah, this operation that we've been hearing about for several episodes,
I think,
is
for the past 10 episodes at least now. Yeah, since episode 10 actually.
Yeah, so I mean, this episode we've been hearing about for several weeks with each episode about making a major hit against the Zeon's mining operations on Earth is just a day away, because General Revel here says we need to move up our operations. We have to hit now.
Okay, there you go. My mouse is starting to act up better now. There we go.
Woohoo! Woohoo!
All right. So, there we go. There's his face, and he looks like a compressed thumb.
Yeah.
But sadly, we're not going to get a half hour of material about him looking like Makuve.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank God. General Elron. That's his name. General Elron.
Hmm. Oh, okay. They got posted the. It's a little out of order.
The which one?
Oh, just some stuff here is posted out of order.
Your pictures.
Yeah. So we had a bit of an exploration of the ship itself, where you got to see, you know, they had to go into the reactors, so they had to wear the suits and get actually get to get the radiation taken care of.
Yeah, not sanitizing, but oh God, now I can't remember.
Sterilized.
Sheesh.
But anyway,
basically what the Monster Inc. would say, 2319.
Mm-hmm. And just these utterly, you know, massive set pieces that we haven't seen anywhere otherwise. So it's kind of surprising to see that they were just recycling more footage for the sake of this.
Yeah,
even the background cells or.
Yeah, and this is within one of the White Base's massive engines. So, and they have two of these. So, I mean, this is rather quite impressive. Ooh, and then we got this trouble.
So we get to finally see a much better still image of the new units of the Zeon forces, the Dom.
The MS-09 Dom.
If we've got to get the exact names about it, and I'll rely on you for that. So
yeah,
you.
I think this is from what I did my research for a future stream or video. This is supposed to be taking over the Zeon this is supposed to be taking over for the Zaku for the Zeon's main mobile suit.
But I like the Zaku. It's everyone's favorite little punching bag unit.
Oh yes, but
look,
it's a bit old. It's a bit old, especially when the Zeons are now going up against the Federation's far superior Gundam.
But have they gone up against Truck Dog?
I don't know.
I didn't think so. So what I really love. What do you? So let's talk for a minute about the Dom here. I mean, just the look of it.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. It actually kind of gives me obviously a Cyclops kind of I don't know, for some strange reason I keep on thinking of like an old Ray Harryhausen Cyclops claymation. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it is. I mean, the Dom ultimately is just to kind of pull up some images here real quick. I mean, it's inspired by the Kendo armor.
Yeah, it definitely does have that look to it.
It's got those same sort of wings that kind of pop up for the shoulders.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the chest piece is even.
Trying to see if I can pull up any trivia on the Dom. Here we are.
Just kind of for comparison here. I mean,
yeah, you can see it a little bit.
All right, so Goliaths, that is the way that it is pronounced. Yes, the Dom, the DOM. It just happens to be the name of the newest suit for the Xeon forces in Gundam, which will go on to become the largest piece of their weaponry going forward.
Yeah. And to be specific, this is the MS-09B Dom. Which is just the model number, basically just the model number, because there are later variations of the Dom, such as the MS-09R Rick Dom, which is a space variation.
Mm-hmm. But I don't think we need to go that specific with the
Not yet.
The unit models.
Not yet.
Well, I would say at least for every single unit, like we don't need, like the Moose side doesn't need to have its entire serial number read off. But
you
anyway,
need to know which one's which.
Would you like to tell me the names of each one of the 3 suits and how many nuts and bolts were added as well?
Oh yeah, sure. So the one on the left is called Harry,
and the one on the right is Hausen.
Harry, Mo, and Larry.
It's kind of fitting that we would have given those 3 names, because these are specifically, to get back to it, the suits for our further famed trio of pilots, the Black Tristars.
Yep. Such as before we said, the 3 pilots that damaged General Revel's battleship during the Battle of Loom and captured him, which kind of basically undid the Federation victory at the battle.
Of course, we have their names were Gaia, Mash, and Ortega, and they have the thickest Texas accents.
Oof,
yes.
Like
they come straight from Missouri, from a pig farm.
Yes, definitely.
And I love them.
It is definitely a fun accent, and once you get those accents in your head, you can never get those accents out of your head. And if you're reading it in a manga or in a novelization like Ironcaster has, you can just hear their voice saying,
"We need the Jetstream attack." It's like they, I think, are the biggest proponent for watching the dub over the sub.
Oh, definitely.
Because you get these guys with the full on like deep South accent. Like if they were any more Southern, I would expect these suits to be painted with like Confederate flags on them.
They would definitely be painted like the General Lee from
Dukes of Hazzard.
Yes, thank you. This is also another thing to mention too, is that originally those DOMs were supposed to go to Rumbaral, the villain that came before previous arc. You know what I mean.
One man's villain's another man's hero, apparently.
You know what I mean, Buster Brown. But so Rumbaral,
you're really gonna say that? He's standing up there.
Oh yes, you're a villain.
He's staring down at you, judging you.
Hey, I don't mind. But no, so for those of you that don't know, Rumbaral was the villain of the previous arc, and his mobile suit, which was the Goof, was destroyed, and he set a request for more mobile suits, and that was going to be these 3 mobile suits that Makuve, the gentleman in the light tan uniform, intercepted and said, "Oh, sorry, they were destroyed. So you're gonna have to find some other method to attack the white base, which ended up costing Rumbarall his life.
Yeah, it is a big tragedy that they were lost. But it kind of goes to show that the infighting of Zeon is a bit of an issue for them.
And that's because Mukuve and Rumbarall, they serve two different masters. Mukuve serves Casilia Zabi, who is the leader of the mobile armor forces of the Zeons, and Rumbarall serves Casilia's older brother, Dolzul Zabi, who is in charge of the space attack forces of Zeons.
Yep. But that's getting a little too into the weeds.
Yeah. It's just laying down the groundwork of the conflict and infighting in Zeon.
Yeah. All right. So let's get ourselves back on track here.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, come on.
And now you lost your control of your mouse.
Yeah. Mukuve, meanwhile, is reintroduced to the Black Tristars in the new DOMs. As being assured by their leader, Gaia, they will succeed where Char had failed in being the White Federation mobile suit. Night falls, and the Tristars begin to search for the white base, with their darkly colored DOMs, blending in almost perfectly with the darkness. White base, which had planted sensors around the area, detects them, and the crew prepares the sortie. Sayla is requested to pilot the G-Armor, due to her previous experience piloting the Gundam, and Frau Bo takes her place as a communications officer on the bridge. Amuro is briefed on the G-Armor as Sayla takes her place in the cockpit. Matilda blows a kiss before he takes off. Matilda blows him a kiss. Sorry. So we get to see more. We get to see more of the G-Bull in action here.
G-Armor.
Oh, yeah, right. G-Armor.
The G-Bull is different. Yeah, it's just the upper half of the Gundam and also the upper half of the G-Fighter. So this
I just always default to the G-Bull.
Yeah. So this craft was basically something to introduce to sell toys, because you can do different configurations of it.
Yep. But when would we ever introduce something purely to sell toys? Now, excuse me while I go buy the 5th variant of Starscream.
Transformers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, He-Man.
Made to sell more toys.
Basically, look at anything from any 80s cartoon.
Hey. At least they gave you a good message at the end. We're going to go blow up, Cobra, but then we're going to tell you not to go touch loose wires.
Or that you should be good friends with the one kid that was treated poorly by everyone.
I feel like you're talking about Amuro again. Okay. Outside, the gun tank is engaged in battle with one of the DOMs and is having a hard time trying to hit it. On the bridge, Mirai tells Matilda she's having trouble getting White Base to take off, and the main engine output will not rise. Sayla is also having trouble figuring out the Gundam docking procedure, but is told to launch anyway. Kai, who is stationed in the gun cannon, has difficulty fighting the DOMs in the darkness. The G-Armor launches. While it has 3 times the firepower of the Gundam, maneuvering is difficult. Despite that, Amuro and Sayla still manage to land some near hits on Gaia, who is somewhat impressed. So I think one of the we're definitely getting to the highlight of this episode, which is, as is in many cases, the battle.
Yeah, definitely.
And I mean, so the G-Armor is like incredibly powerful. Like Sayla, it's not as Sayla is improving to the point where she doesn't nearly pass out this time from the launch.
Yeah, or get sick.
Yeah. And the moment you have Amuro inside of the G armor for reasons, again, to sell toys, rather than just outright launching with the mobile suit and the ship separate. Not exactly the best forethought, but it apparently is a surprise tactic that no one apparently ever catches on to.
Nope. Who would?
Outside, the gun tank is engaged in battle with one of the Doms and is having a hard time trying to hit it. On the bridge, Mirai tells Matilda she's having trouble getting... Oh, wait. Sorry. I gotta scroll down here. Sorry, we read that part.
Oops.
Of course, you get to see that the G-Armor can fire missiles backwards.
Yeah, nice little compartment underneath it, the main engines. And which
kind of a hyper-specific angle, but it works for being chased, I suppose.
Yeah.
Up on the bridge, Mirai is informed that the G-Armor is having difficulty in battle, and that the gun cannon and gun tank are falling back. Matilda volunteers to sortie out in her Medea, and has Frau Bow call fellow officer Colonel Secchi to tell him. Outside, meanwhile, the battle rages on. One of the Dom's shots hits the side of the G-Armor, and this prompts Amuro to undock the Gundam from it, separating the unit into the Gundam and G-Fighter. Sayla's not sure that she can do it, but Amuro reassures her she can. I'm interested in the convo in the background. What did I do? Oh, let me back up. You talking about this one? They're playing a little round of the neck bone's connected to the shoulder bone.
The defrost is connected to the to the radiator.
Yeah, don't get me started on that. I gotta go and no, not that one. The people in here. Oh, I don't have anyone talking here, so that must be you, Chris.
That's my end. Yes, ignore that. That's my my mother and niece.
Ah. Tell them to get a lozenge.
Oh, geez. I will close my door.
All right. I like it. Kai is just being smarmy. You just kind of want to, you just want to do to Kai sometimes.
Oh.
Come on, who doesn't want to smack Kai around a little bit? Chris, you want to smack Chris around? You want to smack Chris around a little bit?
Do I want to smack myself around a little bit?
I smack Kai around.
All
right. Because there is a request.
I don't need a kid to tell me how I should do my job. You're a selfish brat.
Oh, and since I forgot to do it this time. Yes, I don't know what you're talking about, Chris. Halfway there. We're at a commercial break. I feel like I should just get like the Yappy's dog biscuit thing from UHF.
You should
make Chris eat dog biscuits.
You should create your own commercials just to put in there. This would be a wonderful moment.
Dog biscuits.
This is a wonderful. This would be a wonderful moment for you to introduce your merch if you had some.
Yeah, I'm just gonna introduce a line of beard wash.
Do you want a beard that is as luscious and as full as Ironcasters? Buy Iron Gel. it'll fill it up and good. It'll fill it up and make it nice and stiff. So
We can guarantee that your beard will not rust with new iron wash.
And then we got to do the that animation
Meanwhile,
again in order to reintroduce the episode.
Oh, it's buried. I'm not gonna go pull it up again. It's being blown up. Ooh, I think we might be onto something. That I will just call it like Iron Wash Beard Scrub, and on the can it just says "Get good."
If you don't have a beard, it will give you one.
And then the fine print is we cannot confirm that you will in fact grow a beard. But we're not saying you won't.
And if you start growing a back hair, that has nothing to do with us. Please see your doctor if you do.
We'll just sell like Mech Boy bathwater.
Oh, God.
God. No, that's a terrible idea. Okay.
Oh, geez.
Amuro heads back towards the white base in the Gundam. As he goes, he sees a flaming Medea and wonders if it's Matilda's. Meanwhile, Matilda's on the bridge, communicating with the engineers who are trying to get the engines to work. Just then, they are rocked by a series of blasts. The Doms have reached the ship. Mirai orders the main guns to fire their bow missiles horizontally. Amuro, for his part, is in pursuit of the Doms and gets Gaia in his sights. The two of them clash in a dogfight, although Amuro cannot help but notice the other two Doms have made it to White Base and are attacking. Matilda races out of the base to her Medea in order to launch and assist in defending it. Which there we get a bit of close-up of the Medea, which are these big giant carrier planes.
Transport planes, yeah. So
this is an Amazon drone souped up.
Yep. All right. Enough.
Okay, so
Responding to something.
Sorry, what's up?
Sorry, I'm responding to something real quick.
Okay. So Gaia is beginning to realize how formidable an opponent the Gundam is, and orders Ortega and Mash to fall in line behind them in order to perform their Jetstream attack. The attack catches Amuro off guard for the first time, and he barely manages to evade it. However, he realizes how the trick works. Matilda's Medea comes flying up behind the Gundam, guns blazing, as the Tristars prepare to make their second pass. And during the attack, Amuro manages to lunge towards Mash's Dom, destroying it. Ortega's leaps into the air, however, with Medea right in front of him, and he smashes the bridge, killing Matilda and everyone else on board. So this is one of the other highlights of this, which, to back up just to kind of show it, you have the three of them all lined up like this,
and one after the other makes their attack.
after the other.
So that's basically their Jetstream attack. Is if one gets through, then the other person, the person behind them, will get it, or the person behind that person will get it.
Yeah, and it is kind of one of those fine moments of animation for this show. So it's certainly one of the peaks of this little block of episodes. The sort of moments where like the scenery fades away just so you can focus on nothing but the action. And once again, of course, Amuro's destroyed another shield.
Yeah, it's like he's not supposed to have a shield. And one of the things that we kind of missed here is, so if you go back a couple pictures, so nope, one forward. Forward. There we go. So that little circular device right there on his chest, one of the things that
is a weapon as well.
Yes, it's basically kind of blinding. It's kind of to kind of blind and disorient whoever catches sight of it. So that makes it easier for them to attack. So when we're seeing this picture here, this is right before the blinding attack. And Amuro is basically kind of blind as he's attacked again by the Jetstream attack. And then we get one of the most favorite lines in Gundam.
Which one would that be?
Do you have that picture? No, you don't have the picture. Why don't you have the picture? Oh, there it is.
No,
why is that out of place?
Because I think I had to go back and get a couple of other screenshots.
Okay, well,
yeah, because I didn't get a chance to clean this up. So yeah, Amuro jumps over him. He uses him like a step to go stab into the second one.
And Gaia says, "Hey, I ain't no springboard." And this is an amazing shot because it just tells you everything. You have one Dom being used as a springboard. You got another one that's getting skewered by Amuro, and then you have the other one getting hit by Matilda's Medea, preventing him from attacking and killing Amuro.
Yep. Not only that, he just jumps over them, grabs onto it, smashes the windshield, and just brings the hammer down.
Yeah, and unfortunately,
press F to flip vehicle.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we lost someone very dear to Amuro.
Mm-hmm. He lost his waifu.
But in the end, he was able to take out one of them.
This is true. And the other two retreat in the aftermath.
Yeah. They ran out of
not only does... I'm sorry, go on.
They ran out of weapons and couldn't continue the fight. They needed to retreat and regroup and rearm.
And which one was it? Gaia? Which one died?
Mash.
Okay. So yeah. And then Mash's suit explodes.
With a mushroom cloud.
Mushroom cloud.
Yeah. So it's
in the animation, there's actually some really cool lighting to it. And it's worth checking out if you like the look of that.
Yeah.
It looks really cool. It's painted.
Yeah, it looks really cool. It's questionable whether it is a nuclear mushroom cloud because the mobile suits have basically mini nuclear reactors in them. But
And then, I remember you and I last night were stopped for about 5 minutes. We were debating whether or not this would be radioactive.
yeah, but we don't know the full science behind Minovsky particles, which is basically what powers the reactors. And then General Revel received some wonderful and amazing news.
Back at the big tray, General Revel receives the news that White Base has managed to repel the Black Tristars and make it to the front. And he declares that Operation Odessa will start that day at 0600 hours. Much to Elran's disappointment. As the sun comes up, White Base holds a memorial service to honor all those killed in action in the Medea Transport Squadron, particularly Matilda's unit. Amuro remembers the time that Matilda blew him a kiss and cries out her name in grief.
Mentally. Because there's this little mental cry in his head over her death.
Yeah. And that would be episode 24, The Black Tristar.
Yeah. Definitely a very fun episode. It's actually one of my favorites in the series.
And it kind of gets in kind of furthering that evolution of the difficulties.
Definitely, especially it also shows Amuro and also the rest of the White Base crews progress as warriors.
Right. And you've now in this case you have another battle at night with darkly colored units that are something totally new for them to come across that they've not fought before.
Here's a cleaned up image that I found of the mobile suits along with the Black Tristars.
All right, let me close that out.
So this is one of those updated images that they would do in like the 90s and 2000s. So here is Gaia, he's the leader of the team. Here's Ortega, and here is Mash, the one pilot that died.
Yeah, and of course they've got to give Mash like a big old scar over one eye. Yep.
And then here are the three DOMs that they were gifted by Makuve.
I think the 90s was sort of that peak of animation because just the way that the cells are the way the cell animation is done.
Yeah.
Like they're able to get in more detail, like on the chess pieces, those little doors.
No, definitely. I mean, I would love it. I would just absolutely love it if they would go back and update the animation on the original series. That would be just absolutely amazing and wonderful because the animation's fun and all, but it gets kind of cartoony at some points and also a little wonky because proportions sometimes get out of whack.
Right. Yeah, it can get a bit silly with some of the bad animation from that, but you're going to be pretty happy with. Oh, geez, I'll have to share that with you later.
But the story is a fun story, and especially this episode in particular is definitely fun. Oh God!
Hey, look, there's Chris. I mean, Jace. I was reading that last bit of a note. Hey, Jace, sorry to hear you weren't feeling too well today, and
yeah,
I hope you feel better.
But yeah, this is definitely a fun episode. I love the combat between the the DOMs and also the white base crew. It's hard. It's really sad to see Miss Matilda die because she's been there since almost the beginning. She's been there since probably like episode 5 or so, I think. No, episode 6.
She appeared?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, there we go. Change the background up a little bit.
Actually, scratch it. No, I think it's actually episode 7, or I'm looking through right
regardless.
now. Yeah. Definitely.
Yep. Oh, Jace, you missed a thing. I gotta show you a thing. And that's what you get for not showing up. All right. So overall, I guess we should probably kind of wrap up and.
What do you think of the G Fighter?
So it's probably not my favorite design for one of the standalone planes for it. And it at the same time it is kind of cool. It has a lot of it has that kind of vaguely hawkish front end on it. It looks cool, but it's ultimately just a dumb design because the fact of using it just seems pretty. Yeah,
it definitely has its.
Well, I mean,
problems.
for the fact that it can also hold the main mobile suit.
So I'm gonna swap
I was
over
about to get rid of
to this image here.
Could you pick a smaller one?
Unfortunately, let me see if maybe I can.
Well, it's not important.
So this is all the wonderful memorabilia. So this is basically all the different combinations with the G Fighter. So you have the traditional G Fighter, you got the G Sky, the G Armor, the G Bull, and I don't even remember what this one's called.
The G Sky Easy,
maybe, yeah.
I mean, I see it in the bottom right there, so I can.
Okay, yeah. But so this is basically everything that you can do with the G Fighter, and this is all created to be a support unit for the Gundam.
Everything with the Gundam is made to be fairly modular. I mean, the core of the Gundam itself is a plane.
Yes, the core fighter, which is basically the escape pod for if the Gundam is ever damaged. Also, one of my issues with the G Fighter is that so when it's ever in this configuration, it constantly makes me think about, okay, how do the engines work? Because there's a giant gap right in the middle of the G Fighter that's basically empty space. And that's why I kind of have issues with it. And that's why later on they do away with the G Fighter in the canonical movie series trilogy. They do away with the G Fighter and they introduce not that one. The core booster to take over for it.
Oh, right. But that's getting a little further into the weeds than.
Oh, yes. I'm just saying is that's what basically was replaced. But one of the mangas that I've read, I sent you 2 pictures that if you want to show them, it basically re-engineers the G Fighter to make it a little more manageable. It's a little less toyish and a little more tactically sound in a way.
All right, let me pull up my.
So it actually looks like a plane, and instead of
And it's just kind of chilling out underneath.
yeah, and so instead of the Gundam, see Goliath.
Hey, good night, Goliath. Get some rest.
Instead of the fighter coming apart, it actually the Gundam basically just attaches itself underneath. Hello, goodbye.
Hey, there we go.
And so that's basically how it would fly around and you can kind of sort of see the Gundam underneath there. But when the Gundam's not there, it basically just flies around like a plane, like normal. I actually kind of like that redesign.
And I do like it in action there because you can kind of see some of the other jets in the sky as well.
Oh, definitely.
Which seems like that could just be other versions of.
That's from the 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s Viz graphic novel of the Mobile Suit Gundam 0079 series. They did a full run for Japan, but they just went up to volume 9 for English. So which really stinks because like there's another 3 or 4 other volumes that unless you know how to read Japanese, you can't read. And
that or you go find some translators to do the job.
Yeah. But it's really cool because they reinterpret and redesign a lot of the mobile suits from the show. And it does a great job, I think. I really love the look of it. For example, the Big Tray, which is the land battleship of the Federation, they reinterpret it to actually look like what you would look like a battleship from like modern times, but for land. And it looks really cool. In fact, actually, the one shot of the G Fighter landing on a carrier, that's actually a carrier, a land carrier, which is really it's really cool. And I love the designs.
Okay, so let's get back onto it. Ultimately, what do you think about the episode for Black Tristars? I mean, what do you like about it? What do you not?
I love the action. I love the story overall. Like I said, the G Fighter is kind of one of the questionable aspects because it just doesn't seem when you actually think about how it works, it kind of seems questionable because, like I said, that big empty space right in the middle, and you're kind of wondering where are the engines. It's kind of hard to wrap your head around it if you are a logical person.
I'd say that's more nitpicky about one of the suits. I mean, the episode.
Yeah. Oh, yes, but I have very few problems with the episode. I really enjoy it. So I'm going to probably say a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
And also you get that interesting power play within Xeon with Cassilia.
That they've been able to kind of further elaborate on that. So for myself, I really do like that kind of quiet moment there we got with them outside of the hang on. All right, that should be good. So I like kind of the quiet moment you got to see where they're sort of doing things around the ship, where they're kind of like, kind of passing the time, and they're like taking the photos, and it's a very human moment.
Yeah, it definitely humanizes the crew.
And again, it was just a lot of fun. It's one I wouldn't mind seeing. I wouldn't mind seeing more of that with some future episodes. And I think ultimately it's about a good solid 8. It's not it's not blowing me away to some extent where I'm like, wow, this is like the best thing. Like I do really like the battle with the slipstream attack. So maybe I'll push up to an 8.5. Like it's a lot of fun. There's some great stuff. I just don't think it's the best episode of the show. I still think like that the high tension of them like entering Earth's atmosphere is probably one of the big highlights of the show, and it's one of those moments that the show ultimately the franchise keeps going back to because it is one of the best moments.
Yeah. I mean, this may not be the best moment in this movie in the TV series, but it is definitely one of the apex moments in the show. One of the high points of the show. I mean, you have the high tension moments of the Earth, of them falling back to Earth. You have you have the fight between Amuro and Rumbaral. You have this fight, and you have several more fights to come. So,
yeah. So we'll kind of wrap up a little bit here, because I think I'm about ready to call it here. It's been going on about an hour, and
yeah,
I'm looking forward to next week where we finally get to see the Battle of Odessa,
Operation Odessa.
Yep. So, Chris, what do you have coming up this week?
Thursday, Jason and I on 540 Studios will be we'll be doing our Beyond show, the Beyond show, where we basically just talk about geekdom, what's going on in pop culture, and the occasional political rant before YouTube shuts us down.
Yeah, I gotta have some fun with.
Yeah, it's happened a couple times. It's happened a couple times. But when we said one too many buzzwords, they shut the stream down. And then trying to think. Besides that, the Sunday, we're trying to get back into doing a Sunday stream where we talk about stuff from the from the original Star Wars EU pre-Disney. And then at some point in time, we will be doing, which Ironcaster will be invited to, a stream talking about the backstory of the Universal Century of Gundam.
Oh yeah, we gotta get into that because I know you've been working hard on putting that together.
Yes, kind of got a couple more tweaks to make to it.
All right. So, as for myself, I've got coming up on Thursdays over on Clobber Times, the Global Geek Gang, where we'll talk a little bit about some who knows what. We'll be talking about or who knows what we'll be talking about there. Actually, no. This week we're talking about the anniversary of Doctor Who, I believe.
Ooh. Oh yeah, it's coming up, isn't it?
Yes. In fact, a week from today would be the 53rd anniversary.
Yeah, something like that.
Doctor, it's up there.
I do know that like the episode, the airing of the show was postponed by 24 hours because of JFK's assassination.
Yep. Let's see. Friday is the Nerd Father's little stream before Friday Night Tights, and Friday night will be little comic shop talk over on Nick Weiser's. Saturday will be the Week in Geek over on T-Shirt Historians, and yeah, we'll see where I pop up otherwise. But guys, thank you, Chris. Thank you. Wow. You can find the links to these fine channels and many other ones in the description below. And thank you everyone for showing up. Thank you, Chris, for taking this little adventure with me.
Oh, definitely, always fun.
And Jace,
get well soon. And also a nice slap to the face.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
All right!